Okay, boys and girls, we are going to go over Tuesday, May 12th DMR. Make sure you have it out and ready to check your work alongside of me. All right, number one says, what is 87 and 389 thousandths rounded to the nearest whole number? So when we're rounding to the nearest whole number, we find the number that is right before the decimal point in the ones place, and then we're going to circle the tenths place. So I have to decide, is that 3 strong enough to bump my 7 up, or is my 7 going to stay the same? And staying the same is what it's going to do because it's less than 5. So it's the nearest whole number is just 87. You don't have to turn the rest of these to zeros, but you can simply write the whole number. So that's your final answer. The next question says to put the numbers in order from greatest to least. So these are decimal numbers, and I went ahead and stacked them up because that's the best way to compare them. So they all have an 8 in the ones place, so I can cross through that. Then I'm looking at my tenths place, okay? So in my tenths place here, I have a 1, a 7, a 6, and a 1, okay? So I'm looking for greatest to least. So out of all of those, my number with the greatest digit in that place is a 7. So I know that that's going to be my greatest number. So 8 and 7 tenths is going to be the greatest. Okay, then I'm looking at the rest of my numbers and I see a 6. Okay, that's greater than 1 but less than 7. So I'm going to cross this number 8 out. That's going to be my next number. Then I'm moving on. Both of these have 1 in the tenths place, so I'm going to cross those out and move to the hundredths place where this has a 3 and this has a 4. Okay, so I'm looking for the greatest out of those two, and it would be the 4. So 8 and 149 thousandths will be next. And then my smallest number is 8 and 13 hundredths. Okay, so again, you should have those listed, and stacking is a great strategy. Okay, the next question says to write a number that has a 9 in the ones place, a 6 in the hundreds place, a 7 in the tens place, and a 3 in the thousands place. So I've marked out my places here. And my thousands place is right before the comma, right? So there's a 3 in my thousands place, 7 in the tens place, 6 in the hundreds place, and 9 in the ones place. So it's just important that you know your place value there. All right, question number 4. This is a probability question, which we talked a lot about last week. A bag contains 5 red marbles, 3 blue marbles, 2 pink marbles, and 1 green marble. What is the probability as a fraction that you will select a blue marble? So I added up all of my marbles together to get my denominator, right? Because that's going to be the total of my fraction. So if you took all of the fractions together, all of the marbles together, there are 11 marbles. Okay, that's going to be my denominator. And I'm looking for blue marbles. So I go back up here, and there are 3 blue marbles. So 3/11ths is the fraction. There's 3 out of 11 chance that I would pick out a blue marble. So is that likely or unlikely? Unlikely, right? If it is less than half, it is unlikely. All right, my next problem is asking me to solve a subtraction problem. A lot of regrouping that we're going to need to do here, so please make sure you've checked over each step. 5 minus 9, can I do that? No, I cannot. So I need to come over to the tens place. I'm going to turn that into an 8, and this number becomes 15. And 15 minus 9 is 6. Very good. I'm going to zoom this up a little bit closer. All right, so then I've got 8 minus 7. So what is 8 minus 7? Should be 1. Good. And then we've got 6 minus 4, which is 2. All right, moving on to the thousands place. I'm going to add that comma right there. Then I've got 1 minus 2. Can I do that? No, I cannot. So I need to come over here, regroup. This is going to become a 6. This becomes 11. And 11 minus 2 is 9. 6 minus 4 is 2. So my final answer here is 29,216. All right, the last problem is a word problem, and it says that Violet spent $3.28 on an ice cream sundae, $1.09 for sprinkles, and $1.50 for a bottle of water. How much did Violet spend? So we're trying to figure out the total of how much she spent, which means we're going to add these numbers together. If you wanted to, you could just add two of the numbers, and then whatever that answer was, add it to the third, okay? But I went ahead and stacked all three of them, but if that's too confusing for you, feel free to do it in chunks. So 8 plus 9 is 17, and then there's 0. So my answer here is 7, and I'm going to put the 1 up here for 17. Then I've got 1 plus 2 is 3, plus 0, obviously, and then plus 5. So your total down here is 8. Okay, bring down my decimal point. Then I've got 3 plus 1 plus 1, which is, good, it's 5. So the total amount that Violet spent on her ice cream was $5.87. And there is your DMR for Tuesday. Okay, you ready for this? I want to see who all is listening and watching these videos. So the first person to send me a message saying Violet's ice cream will get a special shout out on Dojo. So the first person to send me a message saying Violet's ice cream will get a special shout out. I want to see who all is watching their DMR. All right. Have a great afternoon, boys and girls.